As you think about your upcoming communication settings, whether you're going to be speaking to one or two people at a table because you might be selling them insurance, or you may be speaking to a large audience, or maybe it's a staff meeting or a meeting with potential clients, or perhaps even a general audience, you want to consider the power of using images and analogies to communicate any complex concept. The way the human brain works is that we have a tendency to remember images and emotions, that feeling, that vision, more than we will remember facts and figures. So having that analogy gives your audience something to hold on to and remember. Let's take a look at 4 examples of great analogies. If, for example, you're in the financial world and you're explaining the concept of compound interest, for you it may be very easy to understand, but for someone who's not familiar with the concept, it's hard to wrap their brains around it. So one great analogy I heard is a financial advisor said compound interest works the way snowballs work. If you take a small amount of snow and you start to roll it, it increases in size, the diameter grows, and every time you roll it, that snowball grows exponentially. And that's the way compound interest works. Every roll creates a great increase and an even greater increase. So over time, something quite small can become something quite large. That's the first analogy. Here's another one, also from the financial world. Someone once explained the way stocks work, the way a rubber ball bouncing works. Now, it's not always true, but it's a great image to hold on to. So he said to me, think about the way a bouncing rubber ball goes high into the air. You bounce on the ground, it goes shooting up in the air quite quickly at the start, and then it begins to slow down just before it makes the turn. And after the turn, it drops like a stone. So he had warned me to watch out for fast rising stocks because they will shoot up and they will start to slowly turn. And he said, and that slowing down point is when you want to pay attention, because a lot of people make the mistake of holding on to the stock at the top thinking, well, maybe it's going to shoot up again. But he said that's very rare. It happens, but it's rare. And often as they're slowing down, that is the moment that they're about to drop like a stone. And that's the moment you want to get out. Again, not always the case, but a great image, a great analogy for someone like me, for someone like you to hold on to. So think about a complex concept that you have, that you take for granted, that you understand, and you think, how can I create this in an image, an analogy that my audience can grasp? Here are 2 more. This comes from a tech company who was in the process of acquiring another corporation. And they said that we have to, as we continue to run our own business, acquire this other corporation and integrate it into our service. So he said that what we're going to do is be running down the highway. We're going to be driving down the highway at 70 miles an hour, changing a tire as we go. Great image. It warned his staff, it warned his team that what they were in for was a very intensive period, and it gave them an image to keep in mind. And here's the 4th. The 4th comes from the insurance world. Someone was talking about the importance of life insurance, of disability insurance, of health insurance. And they said, if you would imagine this vase that your family has, perhaps it's an heirloom, you wouldn't ship it off across the country in a cardboard box without first wrapping it in bubble wrap. He said, insurance is like bubble wrap. You take something very precious, your life, your health, your future, and you wrap it up in something very protective so that when you send it off, it's safe. So think again, what are the images that you can use to incorporate into your presentation to communicate a complex concept so that your audience will recognize it, remember it, and most importantly, repeat it to others?